Welcome on board YY. We hope you will have an enjoyable working experience with us. Thank you for your time in attending YY Part-Time Jobs Hotel F&B Basics Training. This training is intended for all our part-timers and freelance workers who plan to be a waitstaff in hotel banquet and restaurant casual jobs. As the training topic name implies, in this training you will be trained on the fundamentals of the F&B industry at a fine dining level across different cuisines. At the end of the training, we hope to help pass on relevant applicable knowledge and build confidence for new staff on their first day of work. F&B General Service Practices. To start off and to better understand F&B general service practices, we need to first know about the main serviceware and supplies used in F&B service. As the pictures on the slides show, we have got silver flatware, chinaware, glassware and linen. And service staff have to be familiar with them to perform a smooth service. Although the practices in each individual F&B establishment, such as restaurants and hotel F&B departments, are different in their operations guided by their business identities and company cultures. However, the common practices in F&B industry shares a common ground in service. Therefore, these general service practices set the F&B industry's service guidelines and rules. Now, let's look at them. One must always remember to handle silver flatware by the handle and never by the head, which will cause cross-contamination and unwanted prints on the silver surface. About chinaware, such as plates, using your hands, always remember to have a comfortable hold at the base with the thumb gripping by the edge, instead of inside the plate. The trick here is to pull in the plate with your fingers so that the edge of the plate is pressed in and supported by your palm. On glassware, always remember to hold the glass only by the stem if it has one, such as a wine glass. And for a straight glass, as best as you can, hold the lower part of the glass when serving it to guests while avoiding the middle and top part. This is to prevent prints at obvious areas, which is impolite when presenting them to the guests. For F&B linen, especially service napkins, always use a clean one and put the dirty ones to wash, to be hygienic and prevent cases of cross-contamination. Next, in a service, it is important to always use a tray to carry silver flatware, chinaware, glassware and linen on a clean tray when serving guests, unless the service style determines that you will not need to use a tray at certain points. This is a distinctive point between a fine dining and non-fine dining standard. As a server, you belong to the front of house. Unlike a kitchen assistant or chef whose place is in the back of house, it is crucial to avoid going to the kitchen unnecessarily or empty-handed, which will let one lose their service momentum. Also, unless you have a reason such as clearing soiled dishes or waiting to pick up food with your tray, you will be an obstacle to the back of house personnel who are moving around doing work. As a first-timer, it is also not wise to clear the tables by stacking soiled dishes too high on a tray. It may be too heavy and difficult for you to handle and may cause accidents. The best advice is to carry a weight that is manageable for you, and make 2 trips instead of 1. Continuing on the guidelines and rules, waitstaff or service crews are also responsible for seating the guests, simply by showing them to their table and appropriately pulling out their chairs slightly and pushing back in as they sit down. Following, in a service, as you interact with a group of guests with different gender, bear in mind to always serve ladies first. But having said that, we also have to look at the situation and adjust accordingly. For example, you may be rushing to the next task, so instead of serving all ladies at the table before the men, you may attend to the first lady and move on naturally. That would be enough to showcase your F&B knowledge. When you are serving at the table, please do remember to serve a guest from the right or clear from the right. And after you finish serving the first guest, always remember to move on to the second guest in a clockwise manner. Last but not least, do take note that in the service, we have to change or clear the cutleries and plates if it has been used at the end of each course. But it also depends on the cuisine. For example, in a Chinese wedding dinner, we will not change the utensils such as chopsticks unless requested by the guest. We will now look at the service rules for serving beverage. In general, free-flow drinks such as tea, water or soft drink should be topped up if the cup or glass is not full. We also make it a point to ask the guest if they would like another drink before clearing the empty glass away, if it is for an ordered drink. In regards to alcoholic drinks, keep in mind that it is more complicated. Therefore, for beginners in F&B service, please do ask the guests for more details on how they want their drink to be served should you be taking an alcoholic drink order. And if you are still unsure, always clarify with colleagues who are more experienced.